Intertalkment. So today's intertalkment is about thought, or rather the belief that the Zambian president, Honorable Edgar Lungu, is being misled by his advisors. They are not advising him accordingly, or blah, 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 blah. Now, personally, I don't buy that. I don't buy that, because we are living in a digital world of social media. We are not longer in the era, when we didn't even know that one day we are going to own mobile phones, one day there will be Facebook, blah, blah. So now, I don't want to believe in today's world, today's era. I don't want to believe that there's a president of a nation that is not privy to Twitter or Facebook or any social media platforms. I don't want to buy that. So to say he is being misled or being misadvised or things like that, I don't buy that. I think that President Lungu is simply ignoring the calls and cries of the people of Zambia because he wants to and because he can. And there's nothing any of us can do about it. So we can blame Vene Lusambo, we can blame Vene Silia, we can blame everybody about his silence and all that. But at the end of the day, as a president, he can make his own decisions. As a president, he can fire and hire anybody he wants. So to say that he is being misled, being ill-advised, or your advisors don't know, blah, 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 I don't think that is true. Because, again, this man is a lawyer by profession. Mamona, he's a lawyer by profession. So there is no way he can be, be told that, oh, okay, Abba, don't say this, you are not seeing these things, or he's not. I just don't buy that. I don't buy it. He is seeing it. He knows what is happening, but he just chooses to ignore. He chooses to ignore. And as far as I'm concerned, and this is my opinion, and guys, listen, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and I know that there are some people that are going to shoot me down or chastise me or even want to almost break their screens when they hear this. But for me, what I think is this. When we look at how deep China owns part of Zambia, we're talking like maybe 60%, okay, of Zambia is now owned by China. So we have to think about this. We have to be a little bit critical and analytical about some of these things. Who exactly is running the government? Who exactly is running the country? Because I think Walungu has a boss. Who has a boss? Who has a boss? Mamana. The boss. Each person has their own boss. So if China owns 60% of that country's sovereign assets, of course they're going to have a stake and a say in politics. They're going to have a say in politics. Mao Sampa's apology, that national apology, may have had the grudges that I mentioned in my other video about why the president and the MPs didn't stand with him. It may have that, But let's not forget who is really, we need to think about who's really calling the shots here. You know, who's really calling the shots? Because I think we have gotten to a point where, I'm sorry to say, but where Zambia is just a front, where the president is just a front. He no longer runs the country. He's a front that is running a country through remote control or whatever. How is it possible? Look, we know that China has invested or loaned money to majority of African countries. Okay, they are in deep, okay, with indebted to China. But of those that owe China money, how many of them have sold the National Broadcasting Corporation? Those have sold the electricity companies to China. I mean, if China owns 60% of ZNBC and owns ZESCO, what are we talking about? Why are we busy upset that, oh, Balungu this, Balungu that? Why are we expecting Balungu to say something when he also has a boss that he is answerable to? You know, because I find it difficult to believe that a country can bleed like that and a president will not even address one issue and just be silent. Huh? Guys, something fishy. Something fishy. I think that he is ignoring. He's been told to ignore, not by who we think is telling him, but by the people who are really running the country. Okay? The people really running the country just told him to keep quiet. Because I know that he is confident PF government would not be behaving the way they are behaving a few months towards the general election. Unless they were 100% confident that they will win that election. Otherwise, at this time, if they were not, they would have been there scattered about, running around, kupapatila, shanshani, amasori, shanshani. But because they are 100% confident that they are winning this election, this is why they are behaving the way they are behaving. You know, in America, there's the former security advisor for Donald Trump, Bolton. He published a book, whether it has been published or whatever, but there are some excerpts from that book that say that Trump asked China to help him win the 2020 elections. Okay? He was willing to do favors for some dictators that he liked, or maybe whatever deal, but he asked China to help, China's president to help him win the elections, and to say, make sure I win 2020 elections. Mamona. So for me, the way I look at these things, I mean, I'm not an expert in this, but sometimes I'm very analytical and very observant of these to my little things, you know. I'm thinking to myself, listen, if a whole Donald Trump, the president of the most powerful country or richest country in the nation, in the world, sorry, can turn to China and ask for help to win elections, in America. We're talking about America. We're not just talking about any other kawaida country. We're talking about America. If Donald Trump can ask China, turn to China to help him win the elections, it means that he is confident and he knows that China has a way to do it. You cannot ask anybody to do something for you when you know they cannot do it. But if you know without a reasonable doubt that they are capable of making it happen, you will turn to them. So if China owns 60% of Zambia, and they have a country, the most supposedly powerful leader in the world, asking them for help to win elections. Do you guys see where I'm going? Do you see? What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Who will it benefit for PF to remain in power? Your guess is as good as mine, the Chinese. So, with everything, all the logistics and the investments and God knows whatever it is that they have put in place, that the Chinese have put in place, you think they're just going to let it go and say, okay, because it's a new government, it's a what? You think they're going to let it go? They will fight for it, they will protect it, and they will make sure it stays in power so that they continue to reap the benefits. So our fight is not even with the LUNGU or PF government. Our fight should be with the largest investors who own 60% of our country. We need to get that back. You know, we need to get that back. We need to get it back and own it. So imagine, you know, seriously, I mean, I'm just going to say it. So the election is going to be fixed. Period. It will be fixed. Here we're talking about, hey, Bill 10 this, Bill 10 that. Who do you think is behind this Bill 10? Who? PF. PF, PF. No. The people to benefit the most from this Bill 10 are the ones that are in charge of the Bill 10, because with this Bill 10, if PF manages to change the MP, the way MPs are elected, where they pick their own MPs and make the parliament 100% PF supporters, then they are able to change the constitution to benefit them. Then they will go back to a one-party state. Who would love that more than anybody? Is it not the investor who owns half the country, more than half the country? Of course. So we need to, like I said, I'm not an expert, but with me, I just have this, well, call it conspiracy theories, if you will. But something is not right there. Something is not right. Something is not right. A lot of things are being ignored. They know themselves what it is that is going to happen. They know what's going to happen. I mean, this even going for elections is just like a formality for them. But they know that this is like a, you know, it's almost a victory for them. Who would be months before an election hear cries and ignore? And yet when there are no cries, when everything is cool, a year or two before elections, they already start dishing out fitenge, dishing out this and that. The MPs now all of a sudden go back to their constituencies to be making this and that, to my promise to have a fee. They take meal there. They start. This is about like 2 years ago. This is about the time they would have started. And now months before, this is months, it's not even a year, because we're already halfway through 2020. months before a major election, they are behaving like this, arresting people that are out, speaking out. I really need to think about this one. We really need to think about this one. Something is happening, and here we are busy jumping up and down, expecting change, expecting for Lungu to sit down and address us. He's not going to do that because he already knows what is in store for him. He already knows what his boss has promised him.